so I'm going to show how to configure Esprit, how you can use it from Cursive. Here I have a device set up, and I've got just a normal depths Eden based project, and I've already set this thing up so it's running. If you follow the instructions, you get down to the point where you're REPLing in through the command line. And I'm just going to show how to do the same thing through Cursive, and it's pretty easy to do because the Esprit REPL is normal ClojureScript REPL, no real different than anything else. The only real trick is this little extra stuff here. So let me get out of that, and if I open Cursive, and I'm going to open up this directory here. So I'm going to say import a project from my desktop. Let's see. Open this one. And I'll just accept all the defaults. This window is shaped kind of funny, isn't it? Anyway. Okay. So, okay. So now I'm going to add a REPL and just a local one. And I always like to use Clojure main, avoid in REPL, run with depths. And here's what you could do if you wanted to, is you can take this, these arguments, all of this stuff, I guess, and drop it into here, parameters. And you gotta mess with it a little bit. Put in a comma there. And that should be enough. And let me just fire this guy up. Now you could make an alias in your depths Eden that does the same things, and you could tell Cursive to run that alias to start things up. But here it is, it's running. The main trick is really the only trick to make this stuff work in Cursive is to get these parameters in there. So you could make an alias that runs those parameters, or you could do like I just did there. And then, so it's a working REPL now, which is, I think that's the main thing that people like, is to be able to formulate stuff down here. But then let's see, let me make a directory, and let's see, source directory, and make a new namespace. Make a ClojureScript namespace, name foo.core. Now, Esprit does not support loading namespaces into the environment. Require doesn't work and stuff like that. But you can still put stuff in here, like I could do +1, 2, and in case I have a different set of key bindings, you can send a form to a REPL, so it should pop it over there. You should be able to do the same thing, define a function. All right, I'm going to define a function, and I'm going to do the same thing, tool, send that to the REPL. And it's going to define that function, and I can then use it. All right, that's roughly it. You can basically use this, a namespace to edit things in, or use the nice features in Cursive to go back and forward in your history and stuff like that. I think that's what most people want. Unfortunately, the main thing you won't get is the ability to do the normal thing where you would load namespaces into this environment, and that's simply because the way the REPL is working is it's basically just the portion of the REPL that compiles the JavaScript locally with the JVM, and then it sends that compiled JavaScript across to the execution environment in here, and it executes that JavaScript. And that's the way all ClojureScript REPLs work anyway. But the thing it's missing is the other part, whereas if you say, hey, require this namespace, typically the way ClojureScript REPLs work is they have hooks to then load in compiled namespaces off disk or something like that, and that's not in here.